Hey, I'm Steve Magnante here in Bogart, Georgia at the Tony Townley Collection, which will be sold by auction on October 24th and 25th by Richmond Auctions. About 110 cars in total will be auctioned from front to end, and a lot of great vehicles in the mix include this 1962 Chevy Impala Supersport Lightweight. Now, we all know that the Beach Boys immortalized the 409 engine with that pop song 409, She's Real Fine, my 409, my dual quad, 4-speed, positive traction 409. Well, they were great cars, sadly a little bit heavy for the task of drag racing against Ford, Pontiac, and Mopar cars. So what GM did, Chevrolet did, was add lightness in the form of aluminum body panels. The fenders, the hood, and other items on the car were lightened up by 50% through the use of aluminum instead of standard stamped steel. Now, the engine on these cars are also kind of interesting. Let's pop the hood and have a peek and see what makes this one unique. And here it is, the mighty 409, again in standard trim, 425 horsepower, but this one's been embellished with Z11 top end parts in the form of high intake port cylinder heads, a two-piece intake manifold with ports to match those upgraded cylinder heads. And again, these are parts that were legal in BFX. Now, FX is, of course, the NHRA's class for factory experimental cars, not stuff that you could buy at the corner Chevy dealer, but again, FX made them legal. BFX aluminum and also the Z11 upgrades on this motor made it legal for BFX drag racing. And of course, other things that made this car light was the deletion of the heater. We can see on the firewall right there, marker says no heater to let the guys at the Flint, Michigan assembly plant know, hey, no heater, because the heater and the related parts are about 45 pounds of dead weight that you don't need on the drag strip. Even the underside of the hood is also aluminum, very nicely stamped. One thing that's a little bit raw are the inner fenders. These things here are ordinary stamped steel, but on these cars, Chevrolet with aluminum, which was more pliable and wrinkled very easily in the stamping process. You can see the wrinkles. No need to try and iron them out because they're just part of the car's charm, and that's how they were when they were originally built. And again, this motor here in standard 409 Beach Boy trim, 425 horsepower with the Z11 upgrades and a hotter cam, probably more like 430 or 500 horsepower in reality, and really a potent power plant right here, probably a 12/32 quarter mile against the 421 Pontiacs, Max Wedge Mopars, and 427 Galaxies. This thing would have battled against on the drag strips across America. Now, to back up this 409, let's have a look inside and see which transmission we discover. Inside here's the Borg-Warner aluminum case T10 4-speed, the only transmission you would want for Superstock or BFX drag racing. No automatics in that type of drag racing at this point in time. Also, the less is more theme is present throughout. There's no heater, as we saw under the hood. Of course, no radio. And just a great example of preservation. Even the carpeting lacks the jute backing, the padding, so it's basically just carpeting that has no padding behind it. Zero sound deadening qualities, and to get those 10 pounds out of the car, it's a quicker trip to the quarter mile to the finish line. And of course, the sun tachometer right here is factory issue, and that is a electronic tach, which is triggered by an amplifier under the hood. And here it is, beautifully preserved. And also, these bucket seats were standard fare in the Impala Supersport. They were not optional. They were standard on all Impala Supersports in the 60s, and here they are present and accounted for. Another detail found on all 409 cars was the extra width 14 by 6 inch rims, kind of a special thing found on lightweights and steel nose cars, present and accounted for. And the body color paint there is factory correct. These might have had a baby cap, a poverty cap, but on these cars, I believe that would have been omitted. And certainly on a drag strip, racers would have had an NHRA legal mag wheel and a slick on the back of this to get better traction. And around the back of the car, it's a beautiful example of GM styling at its best. Now, this is an Impala SS, the Super Sport, in its second year. 1961 was the first year for the Impala Super Sport moniker, and of course, Chevrolet used it and still use it today to great effect on their performance cars. Here it is, SS, and of course, the Impala was a notch above the Biscayne, which is a lesser car. But with that said, the Impala only had 6 taillights, 3 on each side. Biscaynes had 2. So basically, the hierarchy of marketing. You might wonder, why did Chevrolet not use the lighter Biscayne? Well, I'm sure the marketing people say, hey, we sell more Impalas than we do Biscaynes. We want to promote the Impala. Thus, let's make the drag cars, the lightweights, and most of the sexy SS cars on the Impala platform versus the Biscayne, which is not as sexy or appealing to the general enthusiast. So great design right here, GM styling at its best. This is one of 18 cars built, and perhaps 2 are left. So this is the real deal from front to back, aluminum panels and all. less is more when you're talking about a lightweight Impala.